Welcome everybody to our rewind. We are so excited today. We have Sister Karen Brown and Sister Partlow with us as they did a dual team tag lesson on today. It was awesome and amazing. So welcome to the rewind. Remember, you can find our rewind on YouTube and we try our best to share it on Facebook, but we're always asking you all to share, to like, and to follow. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the YouTube channel because it will give you the notification that a new video has popped up, and we want to make sure that you share this video with others. Sunday school is an important part of our ministry because it is here that we learn to grow together. We get to ask questions about things that's going on in the scriptures, and we get to be with one another in fellowship together. So we're really excited about this opportunity to have this rewind on today. And we would love to hear from you. I mean, we do this, we take time out to record these, edit them, and put them up. We want to know, are they of value to you? So if you could take time today and just let us know, just great job, thumbs up, whatever you want to do, but just something to let us know that people are looking at them and hearing from them. Karen, if you can tell us today's lesson, I do believe it was an amazing lesson with relationship to Jacob.
Yes, today's lesson was persevere in times of difficulty, and it came from Genesis, the 32nd chapter, verses 22 to 32. And we talked about how Jacob wrestled with a man that we learned who it was later in the scripture. But this was a great lesson that we walked through how you can persevere and how that struggle occurs. And that was the main theme of what we talked about today, the word struggle.
Thank you so much, Karen. I really like that thing about struggle. Can you, when everybody was talking about struggling and what are some things, we talked about one word for struggle. So those of you that are listening to us, share with us, what are the first thing that come to your mind when you hear that word struggle? You can put it in the comment field. We just want to know that word struggle, what first thing popped to your mind? But more important, the second thing was, when we think about the struggles, what are some things that we currently struggle with today, right? Karen, can you share some of the things our people in Sunday school talked about that they struggle with?
Yeah, there was we had a deep conversation because one person mentioned the struggle that we have with seeing the immigrants being taken from Florida and sent up to New York without any preparation. They weren't promised what they were, told where they were going. So we kind of struggle with what we hear there. There are also struggles that, of course, we all go through in our own lives, struggling with things that are great or small. There was another struggle that was talked about in the Sunday school as well, Cabrina. I think Deacon Buford mentioned another struggle.
Yeah, it's the fact that we as believers, right? Those of us that call ourselves Christian, but yet we sit silent when we see certain things happening in communities where we know we're called to demonstrate this universal love. But we struggle to see folks that proclaim Christianity, but then they're not demonstrating that same Christianity that they're proclaiming. In other words, if we are believers, then we should be demonstrating the love that Jesus talks about toward everybody. It should be an unconditional love. Which that takes us to Sister Partlow, is that we learned today that through our struggle is a way of bringing us about to a change. Can you share with us about Jacob and his struggle and how that change occurred with Jacob?
Sure. Jacob went through a struggle. His whole life was a struggle. He began to struggle even before he was born in his mother's womb. He struggled with his brother Esau. Throughout his life, he struggled when he got to his uncle Laban's house. Had to labor well past the years in order to get Rachel. In order to get
Rachel.
Right. So he struggled all of his life, and then he had to struggle within himself. And today's lesson brought us to the point that Jacob struggled with the man, and the man changed him. The man changed his name. And when he changed his name from Jacob to Israel, it changed his life. It changed the whole perspective of what he was to who he was going to become. It changed him from a man of deception to a man that was blessed by God. And that was the change that we want in all of us. Even though we go through struggles, even though the struggles of life may sometimes seemingly get us down, we have to realize that God is trying to make a change in us.
Oh, Mrs. Partlow, that is so awesome. And so I think our lesson left us with that whole thing of recognizing that our struggles aren't put before us to defeat us, but some of our struggle is put forth for us to be changed, to be transformed, and to come out with a new name. And I love how you talked about the EL in Israel, EL being a sign of God being with us. And so I am just ecstatic about today's lesson. Sister Karen, is there anything else you want to tell our listeners before we sign off?
Yeah, I just think we already touched on it, talking about how Jacob's name was changed, and that resulted in a change in his behavior and a change in how he interacted with God. So I just think the whole lesson was great for us to kind of focus in on, to determine, there, as Sister Sabrina's already said, and it's worth repeating, there are things that we're going to struggle with, but it's all to make us stronger. So I think it was a great lesson. I recommend everybody take a look back at those scriptures in the 32nd chapter of Genesis and read through the entire story to get an understanding of our lesson for today.
Awesome. Sister Partlow, anything else you want to leave with our listeners today?
Realize that struggles make us stronger, but God is also stronger than our struggles.
Awesome. Awesome. I love our study quotes. I be like, we come out with some gems in our study. So thank you so much for listening to the Rewind. We are excited to bring this to you each and every Sunday as we try. But please, once again, let us know that you enjoyed it. And don't forget, this is a way for you to share God's words with other people. Our scripture again came from Genesis, and we want to make sure that you have an opportunity to read the text. It'll be in the description inside of this video. Remember to share it. Remember to like it. Remember to, if you haven't already, to subscribe, and remember to follow us and invite somebody else to follow us too. As you know, here at Rehoboth, we are bridging the gap between Christian maturity and Christian immaturity, as well as the gap between Christ and community. So join us again next week in our Sunday school. You can also join us live. It is through Zoom. So if you have interest in that, let us know. We can connect you to the Sunday school so that you can be a part of it as well. Thank you so much, Sister Brown. Thank you so much, Sister Partlow, for being here, for us being together and having this dialogue about the importance of today's lesson, and that struggle, Sister Partlow, does everything it can to make us stronger. Have a great day.